She lives in the Big Apple now, but hails from Edisto and all the history and traditions that come with growing up Geechee. We'd like to welcome budding author Sandhi Santini, and you can meet her at an upcoming book signing for her new release. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what your new book is called.
Thank you, Layla, for having me. My new book is called Edisto Island, Seaside Stories from a Geechee Gal.
And Edisto has always been in your heart, but you've lived in New York City for how long now?
I have been in New York for more than 25 years.
What brought you there?
I actually came to Edisto after I graduated from Howard University to pursue a singing and theatrical career. And did quite well in New York. I did a lot of the cabaret scenes and the hotel scenes. And then that led to doing hotel residencies abroad, which was a great way for me to get to see the rest of the world.
Most definitely. And then what made you decide to write this book?
Well, the pandemic pretty much had us all shuttered in for quite a while. And it was an idea that I'd entertained for a while. And since I was sequestered in my apartment alone for so many months, I decided I would complete a project I had been thinking about for a while.
And it's wonderful that you use that time for this creative outlet, because a lot of people, they felt very isolated. That must have been a cathartic experience.
You know what? It was probably the strangest and scariest experience I've had in my lifetime.
Really? Tell me more about that.
It's just something I've never experienced. I've never experienced one day going from the excitement and the vibrancy of the streets of New York and everyone mingling, and then practically overnight, within a period of a couple days, to have everything silenced so abruptly and so thoroughly, and people being isolated from each other. So it's in my lifetime, I've never experienced anything quite like that. And I mean, other than seeing it in movies,
yeah,
and so I've
sure.
Never been a part of my reality. And so I found myself finding the company of photographs of my parents, both of whom are deceased, relatives, family members, and I look around and I decided that I wanted to draw from memories and moments that I had shared with my parents, my brothers and my sisters, cousins, and the village that is Edisto, because I've always perceived Edisto Island as a village, it's a village of a family of families, and I wanted to depict that in a narrative.
And is this fiction? Is it nonfiction? What is your book all about?
Well, you know what, Layla, I grew up in a family where the women made quilts, patchwork quilts. And I liken my book to a patchwork quilt of bits and pieces. So I have bits and pieces of histories of Edisto Island. I actually have a segment in my book where there are traditional Gullah Geechee recipes from my mom and from another lady on the island. I also have just memories and moments of my life growing up on the island, and also just some information on my ancestral background, and also Gullah Geechee lore. And I end out the book with 3 stories that are based on some of the beliefs that are a part of the Gullah Geechee history.
And what we've learned today is that there is a very strong spirituality among the Gullah Geechee culture, community, and a very strong community that does live on Edisto Island. And in fact, there's a Edisto Gullah Geechee Nation Night to celebrate all of this. And it sounds like you're going to be in town for a book signing. Where can people find you?
I will be doing my book signing at the Edisto Island bookstore, and that's at 547 Highway 174, which is the main highway on Edisto, headed to Edisto Beach.
Wonderful.
And it's the porch outside, and the fresh air from the beach.
Perfect. I can't think of a better environment and better atmosphere in which to do this. That's wonderful. Well, it sounds like your book is just chock full of some wonderful, profound experiences that you've carried with you your entire life, even though you're living in New York City, which is about 1,000,000 miles away from Edisto Island. But this is going to be wonderful, a wonderful coming home and a wonderful way for people to further understand exactly what it means to be Gullah Geechee. Thank you so much for joining us, Sandhi.
Thank you, Layla, for having me. It's been a pleasure.
We're back after this.